we are live here, Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports Variety Sports Network here, joining you after the Warriors' big win, 127-100, Casey, over the Los Angeles Lakers. They bounce back, series tied at 1. We go back to LA now. And we got ourselves a ball game here. We got Clay bounces back. He kind of shows himself a little bit today. We got a little bit of everything. Got our guy 3 the hard way, 2 to did here. Savage here right away. Big win for the Dubs, game 6. Yep. Clay came early. He came early and often. The Lakers did have the lead, though, after the first quarter. We'll get into that as well. Case, your initial thoughts on the Warriors' big win here?
Came out like champions. Kind of just they respond that way, you know. It's kind of like the last series. They just come out like game busters, and you know the Lakers, you know, to their credit though, they came out strong, especially LeBron. I think he had 14 in the first quarter. Hitting fall-away bank three-pointers from 30 feet. I was like, oh, I don't know. Here we go. You know, it might be one of those games where LeBron he loves playing the Bay for whatever reason. This is one of like his home away from home.
Gets up for him.
Just the Warriors' competitiveness. They just seemed they wanted it more. They came out with more energy. Anthony Davis, I don't know what was going on, but
yeah, he took like a day off today. It's almost like he played so well. He kind of was like, yeah, I think I'm good for a little bit on this one, a little bit.
It was weird.
I'm good here. I think to Tyler's point, I was going to get into it later. The big 3 showed up for the Warriors, right? You got Clay. He has the big game. Curry solid with the 12 assists here. I think I got the stats here with it. And then we got Draymond almost gives us like we always say, the single double a little bit, right? Or the triple single, right? He gives us the 20, the 11 points, the 9 assists, 11 rebounds. So we basically get the triplets. Like we said, all 3 of them playing well, we're tough to beat. The Warriors are very tough to beat when they play like that, and especially against the Lakers. That, like I said, it kind of felt like after that run, the Warriors started to mate late in that second quarter, and then they come out hot in the third quarter. The Lakers kind of just never could get the juice going. I'm all up for a LeBron technical at the end of the third quarter as well. I like how they reviewed the 3-point play or the 3-point shot Moody took. He was so sure. He's like, no, review that, baby, review that. And then came back and didn't give it to him. So it's just like one of those games. And then Curry hits that ridiculous 3. I mean, how stupid was that 3 when it's like 102, 85 or something like that? He just fading away to the right, gets it to spin in. Just what a ridiculous shot. But to Tyler's point there, the big 3 were on their game there. Any other initial thoughts of the Warriors win here over the Lakers?
Just a few guys mentioned out. I mean, JaMychal Green.
Let's go there.
I mean, gosh, you know, him, Moody, DiVincenzo, those guys were huge. Especially JaMychal Green, to be that ready to not really have played any game. I mean, maybe probably played about the same minutes today that he played the whole last playoff series.
Yep.
And to come out shooting the way he did, that's a 10-year veteran right there. That like just the professionalism to be ready and stay ready. I thought that was big time.
And the thing I liked about him last game, Casey, is I felt like, remember I said that after the game, felt like there were some certain bench guys that didn't seem like they wanted to take the shot. He didn't seem like one of those guys. He seemed like the ball was there. He's ready to shoot it. And he's a pretty decent 3-point shooter, wide open, right? I mean, he's going to make at least 3 out of 10. That's what his career has proven. He can get hot today, 3 out of 6, right? 50%, having to keep the defense honest. And he is not a terrible defender. Like, that's not what, you know, like when you put him in the game, he's going to give you a little physicality, a little athleticism. So if he's making a 3 and giving us 15 points, Casey, that changes the Warriors completely.
Well, the ironic part about this whole thing is he probably wouldn't have played those minutes if Looney wasn't sick.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
You're right.
Looney only ended up playing 11 minutes.
Got sick, under the weather. It's a good point.
I think he had 6 points.
Him and Davis just took the day off after all those rebounds. They're like, the big guys need a break tonight. The big guys need a break. We're just taking a little breather. We're not going to show up a little bit. We'll share some of the rebounds.
Yeah, right. That's hella funny. Yeah, no, it seemed like it though. I mean, Draymond Green. I mean, you give credit to the Warriors' defense, of course, but I mean, to only take 11 shots and go 5-11, it was very confusing. Like they never posted him up at all. It was just something that I hadn't seen. Like everyone from the Lakers in game 1 was juiced and ready to go. Vanderbilt was putting full court pressure on Curry. Davis was pounding the boards. LeBron seemed like he was doing his thing today and was doing it early on. It's like it was just a completely different Laker team that I'd seen from game one.
Hey, you know
And
what?
vice versa with the Warriors.
I kind of wanted to go with the good and the bad here with the game as we kind of move forward. As we, we're talking about the game here with one of the goods here, and I think it's something we got to take notice of moving forward here for the rest of the series. Is it does seem like Steve Kerr is starting to fall a little bit in love with Moses Moody, just a little bit. Like I think he's starting to gain some trust in him a little bit. Moody's starting to be way more aggressive on offense, a little bit looking for his shot. His defense in this series seems like it could match up well. His physicality, ability to maybe rebound. That's something I'd look forward to. He got some good minutes. I know he got some bench or got some kind of garbage times, but he played what he played. I think the most minutes off the bench. Maybe DiVincenzo played a couple more minutes, but that was it. Got our guy here, Savage Warriors shoot 50% from three and out rebounded the Lakers by 15. That's a recipe for success. Along with AD deciding not to play. That's what we're saying. AD and Looney decided to share the rebounds tonight with it. Yeah, Davis was just odd the whole game. Like, he still kind of has that floater game that he always can get right around the free throw on the pick and roll. And that kind of worries me a little bit going back to LA to get some juice, right? They always kind of flip it to him at that free throw line. He's got that floater there that he's pretty consistent with. But we'll see what happens with them with AD. I just thought tonight, like you said, he just didn't seem like he had his legs and he just wasn't into it. He kind of decided early on this wasn't going to be one of those games. And is that something that's acceptable if you're if you're a Lakers fan, I would think that's got to be very frustrating.
I mean, I just don't understand how you go from like a first team all pro, like all team, and then you show up like maybe like a 6-man. I mean, those stat line that he had tonight was pretty minimal. Like for a big of a game, if you go up 2-0, go back home. I mean, I know you got one just like you did in Memphis, but Memphis isn't the same as the Warriors. I mean, Memphis was already pretty much like
they lost all their size.
Well, they were they didn't have enough men to compete. I mean, Adams, Clark, Ja went down for a little bit, played hurt. I mean, this is a Warriors team that's fully healthy right now. Wiggins looks great. Clay looks like he can show up every 1 or 2 games.
Will Clay ever shoot a free throw again?
I don't know, man. I don't give a damn if he shoots free throws. Just keep shooting threes because they've fallen now.
I don't think
he struggled the last few, but I think they've fallen now.
And to hear Savage's point right, that the 50% 3-point shooting to me, like obviously they're not going to shoot 50, but like it does feel. I mean, like we said, the Warriors. This is going to be a series where they're just getting them up. Right, last game they got 33s up in the first half. Can the Lakers defend the 3-point range enough? And something I don't think I looked close enough real quick, Tyler, about Looney, obviously solid, but just, he shared the wealth a little bit with the rebound. I think something we're not looking about with the Lakers in that first game was Davis and LeBron played 40 minutes plus. And we'll see, I think that's part of the reason they kind of took today off a little bit after that third quarter to kind of, at that point, they're down 30 anyways. But I think they got what they needed. They got the split if you're looking from an LA standpoint there. But from the Warriors, I'm trying to think okay, is that the recipe? Do we just have to outshoot them from 3? Did we start to see that maybe the Lakers bench that Casey I was giving so much credit for, Russell? It still kind of worries me, right? It's one game. I kind of feel like these first 2 games have kind of played out the way we kind of thought in some ways. So I'm kind of interested as we go to LA now, what if we kind of really start to get maybe a little bit more passion towards each other. I don't feel like the teams have really gone at it yet.
No, right now it feels like a kind of 3 on 1.5.
Regular season-esque, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think the 4 players like LeBron, Steph, Draymond, and Clay, and Loon, but he's pretty mild-mannered. Like his demeanor doesn't show like, a Draymond, but to me, it's like 4 guys that are trying to play, and LeBron's like trying to come on, AD, I really need you, brother, to step this up because this is a different animal right now.
I also think also the thing I wanted to kind of touch base a little bit with here in this game as well was not just not just the Lakers bench, but the Hachimura. Where does he come from? Is he actually? We talked about a few plays. My goodness, he actually has a role on this team now. 14 points. He was pretty efficient in the first half. He's somebody ended up with 21 in the game. That cannot be him, and Schroeder cannot go off in LA. We have to keep those bench guys down for us to really, you know what I mean? We can't give up those type. That's why I felt like we lost. We gave up 19 to Schroeder time. You can't give up time to Shredder, as Xavier calls him from Ninja Turtles.
That's hella funny. No, I mean,
Shredder was killing us. Shredder was killing us.
Rui got hot though, man. He's actually been playing pretty well of late. He's been balling out. I mean, his 3-pointer was unlocked, and could we arguably say the best player from Gonzaga?
Yeah, I know we are saying that. And of course, he leaves the Wizards, right? And then like magic happens with him right there as soon as we get to it. All right, hey, so that was kind of game 2 a little bit. As we kind of transition to game 3 a little bit here, then we'll call it a show here. The last thing I wanted just to point about just the last point for me on game 2 was if we get anything like that from DiVincenzo and Moody, we're going to be tough to beat. Like, can we get anything like on the road? That's always the big question mark there. All right, so game 3 here. Let's get to the predictions we got. Goes to LA Saturday night, 5:30 here, Case. They get the primetime game. Who do you like? You like the Warriors to go 2-1. You know LA is going to be rested. Like we said, get the comment there before. 28 minutes for LeBron. Kind of folded there. You know AD, he's a great player. Usually they don't have bad games back-to-back. Curry did get a lot of assists, but didn't really blow up points-wise. What are you expecting here Saturday night?
Well, first of all, Anthony Davis did not play back-to-back, so he didn't show up tonight. LeBron James definitely needs some rest, though. Vanderbilt looked like his leg got rolled up pretty solid, so see how he feels,
Excellent.
Coming into that game. Yes. Oh, man, Shredder. Damn,
Shredder time.
But
if they lost Vanderbilt, Casey, that would be a huge loss for them.
He looked all right, but he was not moving the same he was like earlier.
Yeah, he'll play for sure. He'll play, but against Curry, you need everything you got.
That's what I mean. It's I just Austin Reeves right now. I feel bad for him. He looks lost. I don't feel bad, but I mean, I don't feel bad at all. I'm loving what I'm seeing, but I mean,
I'm loving that. I'm loving that flopper's getting it. He pissed me off in game 1 when he made those 2 little threes at the end. That was kind of a frustrating moment.
I don't think they can play him on the floor. Like the athleticism, just defensively, is not like he cannot stay with Steph. Like it's just not. He's not fast enough. He's not quick enough.
What do you think of LeBron's first half, though, kind of in that regard? Can he now that he's going to LA for game 3, is he going to be able to sustain that for a whole game?
Well, Steve Ballmer shows up, might intimidate him, but I mean, LeBron's he's the GOAT, man. I mean, if not, 1-2, arguably with other people, but he's just he makes the game simplified, kind of like what Steph is doing now. And when there's moments when you need him, he shows up and is like, I think sometimes he tests AD and he's like, all right, you're not going to show up tonight, then I'm just going to take the game off as well. But, I mean, he tried to do everything he could in the first quarter. I mean, he poured out, I think, his energy and expended a lot of that to, like, say, hey, boys, I'm here. But for game 3, I do think LeBron it's a LeBron show, but I got the Warriors pulling it out.
This is random, but I don't know if anybody's in the comments and wants to comment. I was listening because I had to listen to most of the game today, except for like when I get home in third quarter there, middle of the third there. They were up by about 24, something like that, 28 almost. I had to listen to a lot of the game on the radio. The NBA and the radio has never been one of my. It's so hard. I almost would rather not listen to it because like it's just the way like. I was like, go to the Curry, elbow to elbow. I'm like, I gotta watch it. I don't want to hear the misses. I need to see it. I can't visualize it. They go too damn fast with it. But it's one of those that I cannot ever get on the radio. But had to watch it, had to listen to it today to get on there with it, Casey. Hey, so the prediction, do you like the Warriors or the Lakers to pull it out in game 3 here?
Like I said, the Lakers.
Lakers to pull it out there with it. Do you think it goes 2-2 if your gut feeling back to Chase Center for game 5?
Man, I think it's gonna go 6 and the Warriors win.
So the Warriors end up winning the next 3 after that. It should be a good. I mean, like I said, the one thing that's interesting, I know talking to a lot of people, is the LeBron Curry matchup. Right, that's just kind of something from the general there, what people enjoy. Lakers Warriors, Casey. We haven't had it since 1991. Christopher Mullin, right, playing against Magic Johnson. He did the 41 piece the 43 piece by Mullin against Magic there to win game 1, and then they lost the next 4. Maybe the same thing will happen now, right? The Lakers win game 1, and now the Warriors win the next 4. So maybe we'll get the gentleman's sweep that way. I got the Warriors winning a close one. It's the one thing for me is always that LeBron AD angle, right? Like I feel like with Curry and Thompson, right, in Green, they'll always have the star power, except against the Lakers, right? Against
Yeah.
let's take the one team where they don't have like the one whistle advantage over a star player. Like there is that little minute thing here that I kind of find fascinating with the series.
Yeah, no, it was kind of funny how, LeBron got that technical and Steph got his fouls. Davis got it. Like, it's so funny to see superstars, like, when they get fouls, they're just like, really? Like, you're going to call that stuff, especially in, like, all these games that we played. And just, it's kind of comical sometimes. You almost got to laugh at it. And I don't know.
Is it just as simple as the Warriors need to, obviously, like, Clay shot well and stuff, but, like, if I'm thinking like hardcore basketball strategy here, right? Like just, like, all right, nerd it up a little bit. Is it as simple as the Warriors just have to get out and run that, and then on offensive side of the ball, put everything, anytime Curry's in, run pick and roll to start? Because I feel like when they run pick and roll to start, it just opens up that court more in this matchup a little bit more than when they're running it off. Because then Vanderbilt, I feel like, has not an advantage over Curry, but I don't like it as much as him starting on the ball.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at the Warriors offense, I mean, it is pretty simplified, but it's really complex at the same time. Try to guard it, man, it's got to be straight chaos. Like, you just have 4 guys running off ball all times. And it's just like, just a different offense. Like, it's like Utah Jazz mixed with the Chicago Bulls, the Lakers. Like, it's just like the Spurs. Everything's a combination of everything. And so, but when you get two of the greatest shooters to ever do that, and you got a point forward in Draymond Green, and then you got a guy that's a roller, and then just the fourth guy that's maybe a corner pocket 3. Yeah. I mean, that's so hard to guard for 24 seconds, let alone everyone's fast. I mean, obviously in the NBA, everyone's fast, but their pace of play is just like, if we get a shot up, it's almost like the Phoenix Suns, along with Steve Kerr, another team that he been,
and that will wear down the Lakers at times if they can make them pay with a few more made threes, make them keep that pace. But they have to stay. I thought a big key also case was they stayed out of foul trouble a little bit more today, except for early on. So when you stay out of foul trouble, the game can obviously be played faster too, which is a big point as well. Just want to say I appreciate our guy Savage here from Three the Hardaway tuning in, making some comments. Always makes it a little bit more enjoyable. So appreciate you tuning in there. Make sure you check out their podcast. Usually it's Sundays afternoons, or usually Sunday kind of mid-afternoon our time, around 11 a.m. our time. So make sure you check their podcast out. They do a good job. They've been doing it the whole season. So appreciate you tuning in there. Tyler with his comments, appreciate that as well. Case, game 3 here. All right, like we said, Saturday we'll be doing the post game there. I'll be having Doug on from Hoops of Agenda. Maybe you'll be joining us. I know you might be working late, but we'll see if you'll be able to make it in time to make the post game. Yeah. Any last thoughts on the game before we get out of here?
Yeah, I saw this stat and it's pretty wild. As much as me and Tyler maybe ripped on Steve Kerr's rotations, and as much as I just don't agree with it. Obviously, he's doing something right because they keep winning, and that's one guy I should probably, besides Steph Curry, just stop saying things about.
Lay off Steve Kerr, man. He's got like a 73% win percentage. Lay off the man.
It's ridiculous because they're showing some stats. Steph Curry's won 85% of his playoff game, series. That's insane. I mean, 85%. And then
Casey, you see Ryan's comment though, real quick below.
Yeah, I gotta love it.
Maybe that makes it easier on Warriors fans. He commits the fouls, right? He gets out of there. You're right. Maybe Ryan, I lied a little bit about that. Maybe Poole was still committing fouls like he always did.
That's the line of the night right there. Thank you for
that. He has 5 fouls in 16 minutes. Loved his deed.
Oh man.
He was aggressive. He was aggressive.
He was.
He was aggressive. I like our guy here. If you're not a Warriors or Lakers fan, it probably does feel like a lot of flopping and complaining going on in this series. It's probably not, right, Kate? It's probably not your favorite one in that regard. With it,
man. I mean, you got a Hollywood team and a Cali team, man.
Yeah, that's the way it's gonna go there with it.
I was gonna say though,
go ahead.
Steve Kerr, he's got 2 more wins to 100 wins in the playoffs. It's just wild to think, the relationship him and Steph Curry have, and they're showing 25 plus point blowout games. And here's the coaching tree: Popovich had 17, Steve Kerr tied him with 17, and Phil Jackson had 16. He's linked to all those guys, so
No,
Yeah,
no doubt.
there's no coincidence that Steve's doing his thing right now.
I mean, just think. I mean, when you talk about one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history, right? What if he takes that next job right there? You know, just changes it all. What if Stan Van Gundy accepts the Warriors job? I mean, that's a huge, you know what I mean? Like seriously, that's why they got Steve Kerr. So always a massive what if when that. And like most people say on the on social media that I see is, and you can see it watching the Warriors. I mean, their inbound plays are as good as anybody ever in the league. I found it fascinating. This is why I knew he was going to be a good coach. As I remember back when he was an announcer, he said he was always keeping a journal. Like every time he beat the players, he'd have select plays. So like you just think about all that knowledge you accumulate. He's probably got so many plays in his bag, and then you just kind of cheat off other teams and stuff like that. So no, you're right, no doubt. Kuminga got some minutes.
Any play any played for Lute Olson as well. So I mean, there you go.
Lute. Hey, Anthony. Hey, shout out to Anthony Lamb. That's what we want to see you in the game.
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops. We saw you in at the game, right? Is that
that's how he's playing? That's
why we want to see lamb chops in at the end of the game there.
That's how he was playing his defense with lamb chops for those few minutes. Just
Casey, Saturday. I just want to kick the Lakers' ass. I gotta be honest. Like it's one of those teams that like I just don't want to lose to. Like I remember growing up and like I remember when we had the Warriors had like a 17-win season. And Antoine Jamison getting 50 points on December 6th to beat the Lakers. Probably the Lakers looking back at it. But I know, but against the Lakers specifically, when Kobe got 50, I remember that being a huge deal because they beat the Lakers. That's what made it bigger, right? Yeah. And looking back at it, the Lakers probably didn't give a crap about that game. Well, other than Kobe Bryant.
Didn't Anton have 50 at Oakland and 50 in LA though, back to back, right?
Yeah. Hey, what they had got? Yeah, he did. He did against the Sonics, or he did against the Lakers, and they won that game. And then they went and lost to the Sonics, and he scored 50. That's how bad they are. The man scored 50, and they lost that one there. Stan that Van is sucks. Is Jeff better? Is Jeff the better announcer? He did at least Jeff did say something positive about the Oakland A's today. What did he say? Sell the team, Fisher. I like that. Sell the team, Fisher. I'm up for that. Yeah, that's going to win me a little points with Jeff a little bit. But Stan, I just can't stand Stan.
That's a dad.
I can't stand Stan.
Joke right there. If I've ever heard a dad
that
joke.
is about. I just can't stand him. He's awful at it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jeff's.
Maybe it's because he rips on my team. Maybe that's what
no. It's not that. It's just sometimes he just talks about stories that I don't really care about. It's like an interesting Vince Scully, but I mean, it's just done like differently. But I mean, he's not terrible at announcing, but sometimes it's like almost like a fake TNT broadcast. Like I don't know, with Barkley and Smith and just the crew. It seems off sometimes.
He has his moments for sure. It's a pet peeve when your team's losing and you got him saying, "Yep, that's a foul. Yep, that's a reach." You're like, "No, that's not a reach.
Dude, the one I'm like, he's like, when LeBron turned sideways and took the so-called charge, he's like, I think that's a legal position. I'm like, you can just stand sideways now. You just have to be set.
The charge thing is always insane to me. I don't know what's going on in the league. They got to change. The charging is, I mean, come on, play some real. If you look at like some of the older, there's players who are not taking charges. It's the way it's taught is so much different, I guess, and the way that the speed is played. I just hate charges. Go for the damn block.
I thought about that. You know how they have the college line and the NBA line, for 3-pointers?
Oh, yeah.
That should be the restricted area.
That's 3-point line. That's not a bad idea. Like, or maybe make the old European key, do something like that.
You know what I'm saying, though? Just put that so far out there. It's just like, all right, like, you're 7 feet tall. Stop trying to take out guys like Ja Morant that are, like, improving the athleticism in our ratings. Can we just go up and try and block a shot when you're 7'1" and he's 6'3", 6'4" at best? Like, Casey, I mean, it would change the game, I think.
Casey, out of these Warriors players, who do you trust the most right now? Okay, Moody, Poole, DiVincenzo.
I trust Jordan Poole to foul out in one of these games.
He was a +8 though, at least.
Everyone was a plus.
I just messed. Let's see if anybody was a minus. Kuminga was a minus. Casey Kuminga was a minus.
My boy.
Your boy was a minus. He still found a way to do it.
Yeah. That's how funny.
Adam, he was a +8. I'm not as big a Poole hater as everybody here. I mean, is this just as me? Like, I guess in some ways I like Poole because I know that the Warriors, they play their system, right? They do their things, but like he's kind of that wild card that like kind of goes against that kind of system a little bit, which I kind of like. But you just wish he would reel it just a little bit more at times. And right now he does feel out of rhythm. I agree, but I mean, I feel like you can't. How do you not play him? I mean, he's gonna get some minutes. He's not gonna get like Kuminga type minutes. You
No.
paid him 140 million. But I mean, you look at last game. I thought he played well, 6 for 11. I thought he made some nice passes in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I hear the frustration. Me and you always say love hate with him as much as possible. But I thought he's actually been better the game before today. He fouled like crap. Obviously, he was whatever. He was what he was today.
I mean, there's fouls and there's just like, what the hell are you doing?
He just gives fouls.
Well, it's just like you can't just run someone down from behind and just like run him over. Like, he's going to pull up for a jump shot. Like, it's just like he's just not understanding the defensive side of it right now. Like, offense came to him easy. Like, he figured that out. Like, after he went down to the G League and came back up, he was a different player. Defense, I don't know if part of it's like the lack of like carrying on defense where he just
do they have to is it one of those little kid things case where like, all right, we got Poole coming, we gotta go 2-3 zone. Is that what this is? Like we gotta go zone
it
defense.
Feels like it. Yeah, you gotta play some weird defenses, and it's just like Draymond Green, you can tell sometimes it's just like, God,
because if you go man, they just search for him. They just
yeah.
It's all they do. I know that's all they do on there is just search for him. I still feel like he should be able to guard some, but like, come on, you can't guard Vanderbilt. We got to be able to do something on this team. We got to I don't know. It's not just one-on-one defense for him. It's just like you said, it's help defense, it's transition, it's everything. I don't know. Poole. So Poole's not the guy. So who are you trusting more, Moody or DiVincenzo? DiVincenzo then.
Man, Moody's been coming on strong.
Or does JaMychal Green even play over them? I guess.
I mean, it depends on if they want to go, just one center without, Kavan and Green at the same time. But I would just I trust DiVincenzo because he's been there before. I mean, he played with Milwaukee, won a championship. Moody's still kind of coming into his own. He's real young. He's 21, 22. So, but he is poised. He played those years at Alabama. And, good old gotta love Muscleman. He trained him well. So he's trying to help out the Dubs right now.
Dante was good tonight. To their point, he was solid. And the thing I liked about him is that he was actually looking for a shot. I felt like the last few games he was hesitant, was kind of frustrating. He's the grittiest player of them all. Like he's kind of like this, like because Casey Briare's got that short kind of speed and defensive spots. He can kind of guard and he can shoot a little bit better. I feel like, and he can dribble than all those guys. He can definitely dribble better than Moody, and he can dribble better than JaMychal Green.
Moody feels like a young DiVincenzo though. Like they got similar aspects and qualities.
I feel like DiVincenzo's a better ball handler. More.
What's that?
I feel like DiVincenzo's a little better ball handler. I don't feel like Moody plays quite like with the handles as much.
Well, he's more polished. I mean, he's been in the league, So, but I think that's his track record. Someone like that.
Going into LA, right? Like that's going to be the key now. Like, which one of these guys are going to step up for us? I think we know. We know what we're going to get from, or at least we expect what we're going to get from the big guys, the starters here, the big three. So to me, it's going to come down to the bench players who can show up and give us some good play. To me, that's what's going to come down to. And then from the LA perspective, does AD show up again? What are the adjustments the Lakers make in game 2? What do the Warriors do to, because LA is going to definitely look to play a lot more physical. And they're going to, if they're smart, they're going to look to get out in transition too, because it's not like they have the best half court offense either.
No, I mean, that's why I think both teams want to push. I mean, the Lakers do have a good defense though. I mean, if Vanderbilt's, okay, Davis, plays like a block monster that he is. I mean, it's tough to get buckets, but, just as fast as they play, I mean, it's going to be one of those games where they wear each other out and see who kind of fades first.
So me and you both have the Lakers winning game 3. It feels
no. I don't. I said it's going to go 6. I got the Warriors winning game 3, Lakers winning game 4, and then
then the Warriors finish it. Okay, I got you. I mean, that to me, if the Warriors win Game 3, I'd be surprised. That's not usually what their history has said in situations like this, right? At times against these big matchups, and then they've rebounded. So it'd be very interesting to me how they play in this game. I expect them to play well, but all the way back to the play-in game, I feel like they just don't finish games against the Lakers the last few years. When they've had LeBron in these moments, like that's just how I feel watching them play in the bigger game. So we'll see if that doesn't play true to me. I'm just saying that's my hunch right now. I'm a little nervous in that regard going to LA because I need to see the Warriors play a little better there. Look, come on, even back to their championship days. You remember those Saturdays at 12:30? It'd be like, how are you losing by 40 with Kevin Durant to the Lakers?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I that's the part that worries me is their history is telling me they haven't been playing as well in LA.
I mean, you can't.
So that too, Adam, right there too. Yes, the calls.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's going to be a huge thing, especially after LeBron's technical. Yeah, you know how it goes though. I'm sure Darvin Hamlet might thrown a $25,000 fine or whatever it be. Just the kind of, hey, we need more foul calls or something like that.
LeBron should be taking the fines, not Ham. LeBron's got more money. LeBron's got more money than him. Well, at least LeBron has to pay the fine. That's how it should be.
Yeah. There we go.
That's how he's got to pay it. He makes more money than him. I'm with Adam there on the calls. That's going to be a little worrisome. The crowd, it's kind of now the Warriors are back in LA. Like I said, for the first time since 1991. Can the Chris Mullin aura be there? The lefty. Can we get that magic from him coming back to LA?
A good over under would be like more celebrities than LeBron and AD score for points, or more celebrities than Steph and Clay go for points. It's gonna be a crazy crowd over there. It's gonna be
on Saturday night, 5:30. Yeah, you're gonna have all the stars there. Will Jack be there? Is Jack still going to games?
Oh yeah, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. You know he's gonna be there.
Jack be nimble. The dim lights in the arena. Yes, I got the theater lighting. That's what I've always liked about the Lakers ever since. They didn't used to have that though. They changed that. That wasn't a thing. If you go back to the early 2000s, that was not a thing. So they made that, mix it up for theater purposes. I actually kind of like that. Not many teams do that. The Nets do it, but who cares? Nobody watches the Nets. I think also, Casey, with Game 3 a little bit, like I said, we have the Lakers getting calls. We have who will the Warriors get on from the bench to deliver? The atmosphere is going to be lit. We know that everybody's going to be, all eyes will be on this game. We'll be there for the post game right after. I'm excited, man. This is kind of like, I don't know, like it's hard to imagine our whole life. This is basically the first matchup we remember with the Lakers.
Yeah, true.
I mean, 1991, you were a solid 4 years old.
Maybe 3 and a quarter. Yeah, no, it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be epic. I mean, it's already been, the first 2 games. Obviously, the first one was actually a good game for a basketball standpoint, just for viewership. This one, as a Warriors fan, you had to love every minute of it. Maybe not the first quarter, but from there on, it was home cooking. So
it's funny how they say to me that Poole is the key as a Warriors fan. Like, I think it's because he's just the barometer of the heat check. Like, right? Like, he's just like, it's almost like that feels like when you play against a team like kind of the Lakers with Russell, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I feel like when Russell gets 21, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like kind of those killer kind of points because he's not doing much else on the other end. And that's kind of what Poole does, right?
He's a wild card.
Is it a Poole and Russell? Down to Poole and Russell.
Yeah.
How many did Russell end up with tonight? We haven't really talked about him much tonight. He ended up with only 10 points, a minus 19. He was off 8 assists. I saw, he was okay. He was okay in the sense of I didn't think he was the worst player on the floor for the Lakers, but he definitely didn't give him much of anything else. You know what I mean? Like he kind of just played at that Russell pace that isn't going to give you a victory.
He played at spurts. I mean, he knocked down a couple J's, keep the game close. But I mean, I almost feel like whoever so far, at least in the first 2 games, Jordan Poole or D'Angelo Russell, like those can be some big X factors there for us on both sides. If D'Lo gets hot and goes for 20, and Poole goes for 20, and if one's cooled off and the other's cooking, that adds for a bad recipe. But for tonight, for some reason, it seemed like everyone else had it going, and they doubled Curry. He made the nice plays, and
Does Curry get it going next game, Case? Like, like when I sense, like, does he have the 30 ball? Does he get, like, I feel like the Lakers are really making that effort to anybody else, right? Like, it feels like the Lakers are kind of make it, they don't want Clay to beat him, but they're obviously going to let him get more of the shots than they are than Curry.
That was definitely the game plan tonight. I mean, you can tell. I mean, Curry went 7 for 12.
8 for 11. Good God. 8 for 11. 8 for
Oh,
11.
Clay
I know.
For 3. Yeah.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
Yeah. I was just saying, though, Steph, you were saying Steph, he went 7 for 12. He did his thing. And he just, even when he wasn't making, like, the direct assist, call it like the hockey assist, he was just setting up guys left and right.
Yeah.
And they chose the double, and that, you've been in the league, you've seen everything. I mean, they're going to try and get the do after, a few possessions or a quarter in. And he made the adjustment, and, Draymond's number 2 at making that second decision. So those two just work so well off each other. It's incredible to watch, really.
Yeah, Curry countered the double team really well and has to continue to limit those turnovers. That's the key in that double, right? Sometimes he gets really sloppy with those, like, stupid double team turnovers and, like, pisses me off with it. Nothing pisses me off more than those little, like, double team when he tries to lob it over the top and somebody tips it. I'm like, good God, man. Good God, get the pass through, please. Because once you get it through, you're playing 4-on-3. So that's what we want. Yeah, that's the match window. So Curry, can he rebound? Like, when I say rebound, are the Lakers going to let him get off points wise and maybe shut down others? I don't know. I feel like they're going to continue to put it on Clay and Curry and let other people beat them. Tonight they were able to get a little bit more from Green. We talked about all those guys. So, but if Clay goes 8 for 11, man, we're not losing many games.
Right? Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing that I think Adam agreed with me is DiVincenzo on the road. One of those role players stepping up, and usually sometimes for the younger players, it's it's different, especially now. You're getting towards closer and later into the rounds of the playoffs. I think just having that veteranship, just like JaMychal Green proved tonight. And it's man, I'm just excited for this game on Saturday. It's gonna be so much fun.
All right, let's end it there. Game 3, Saturday night. That's we're looking forward to that one, Casey. We'll do the post-game wrap after that. I always tell this to everybody that's been joining us on the podcast. It's been great to get you. It's therapy for us. So we appreciate anybody that comments in. You can say whatever to us. We are not you can say good things later, whatever. We love talking basketball. This is good. We love post-game stuff. Larry Krueger shout out, right? KMBR after all the games. We would listen to all the post games with stuff there. Yeah. So that's what we're about. We're about post games here. Variety Sports Network, Fatboy Fadeaway Sports. Appreciate Ryan McGurk. Appreciate Adam Devarge. Appreciate Savage tuning in. Appreciate our guy Tyler McGurk obviously tuning in here. Emily, shout out to you. Let him go. Let him go. Let him do one. Let him do a pod. Let him do a pod. We can do it. Sorry, Tyler.
Shots fired at the end.
Shots fired. We love you though. We got to get Emily on. Maybe Emily can do. We got Hot on one time. We got to get her commenting in. That's the key. Casey, if you missed Tyler, he was on last night with the Realism Sports podcast. Well, let's just say this. He might or might not have had to use the facilities on air. So you can take that as you want if you want to tune in there and check
I
it
held
out.
Mine in. I held mine in. I had to go so bad the last 5 minutes. But maybe my sports knowledge kind of dipped a little bit because I was getting it towards that mid-30 range 40. And those movements don't work like you think they used to. So
no, they don't. No, they don't. Real quick here, got Adam Dante's. That's kind of what I was thinking, or maybe even JaMychal. Maybe JaMychal adds a little bit. Maybe he's the deal. Maybe they combine for it or something. But I agree. The problem with the thing with Dante is he actually gives the Warriors way more offense than GP2 ever could.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. If he could ever get it going, it's like then the Warriors have something really good off the bench. So it's hard. It's funny he was on the Kings last year too at the end of the season. And then he ended up playing against them in the playoffs last year. So, all right, Case, why don't we end it there, my friend? That's another emergency pod. Warriors postgame will be here with you Saturday night. Appreciate anybody tuning in. Casey, Warriors, victory tonight. Let's go. Beat LA. Till Saturday night.
Dubs on dubs on dubs.